Warriors, welcome back to Gods of Alliance. If you're here, it means you want power, knowledge, and control over the battlefield. This is not luck. This is strategy. Let's break the game together. Today, we're stepping into something different. Not just strong, not just useful, something fantastic. Because Soleil is simply fantastic. This is not a hero you add to a team. This is a hero that transforms how your team functions. He doesn't just support. He doesn't just heal. He reshapes the fight. And when you understand how he works, you stop thinking about him as a support, and you start using him as a system. So today, we're not wasting time. We're not maxing blindly. We're not throwing resources everywhere. We're building Soleil the right way. Maximum priorities. Maximum impact, because that's how you grow faster and win smarter. Let's start with the fundamentals. Soleil is an intelligence-based support, positioned in the middle line, and everything about him revolves around one single thing: magic attack. Not partially, not situationally, everything. Every skill he has scales with it, and that already tells you everything you need to know about his build. The stronger his magic attack, the stronger his entire presence becomes. His protection improves. His debuffs hit harder. His amplification becomes more effective. Everything grows together. Now let's break down what makes him so powerful. His first ability doesn't just weaken the enemy, it shifts the entire balance of the fight. He steals armor and magic defense from all enemies and gives it to your team. So in one single action, your enemies become weaker. Your team becomes stronger at the same time, and the more defensive the enemy is, the more value you get. This is not just good. This is fantastic, because you are not just reacting to the enemy. You are taking their strength and using it against them. Now we move to his second ability. And this is where Soleil becomes a nightmare. He places a protective halo on the ally in front of him. But this is not just protection. It reduces incoming damage. It protects against control. And more importantly, it reflects control back to the enemy. So now think about real fights. The enemy tries to stun. They get stunned. They try to silence. They get silenced. They try to control your team. They lose control instead. This is not defense. This is punishment. You are turning the enemy's strategy against them. And against control-heavy teams, this alone can decide the fight. Now we move to his third ability, and this is where Soleil starts applying pressure. He marks the central enemy, and every time that enemy uses a skill, they take damage. But if that skill is a control ability, they take even more damage. So now the enemy is in a position where doing their job hurts them. Control heroes start destroying themselves. And this creates hesitation. It creates mistakes. It creates openings. And that's exactly what you want. Now we move to his final ability. And this is where everything comes together. Soleil increases damage and healing for allies in front of him. But here's the key. It scales. The more control effects are used in the fight, the stronger this becomes. So the fight evolves. And Soleil evolves with it. The longer it goes, the stronger your team becomes, and the more the enemy struggles to keep up. Now step back for a moment. Look at what we have. He steals stats. He protects allies. He reflects control. He punishes enemies. He amplifies damage and healing. This is not just a support. This is control over the battlefield. This is influence over every interaction. And this is why Soleil is fantastic, because he doesn't rely on one mechanic. He connects everything. So now the question becomes simple. How do we build him properly? Let's start with the most important rule. Skills. Max everything. No hesitation. Every ability matters. Every ability connects. If you leave one behind, you weaken the entire system. Now we move to skins. And here, you need discipline, because this is where players waste resources. Magic attack. That is your priority. No debate. Because Magic Attack defines Soleil. It boosts everything. If you build only one skin, this is the one. After that, you expand. But not before. Intelligence, magic penetration, magic reflection. They come later. Now we talk about level 120. No shortcuts. Because this unlocks talismans. And talismans change everything. Even his first talisman already brings strong value. It gives intelligence and armor, which means more output and more survivability. And that matters, because a support that stays alive keeps controlling the fight. Now we move to Sparks of Power. Max them, no discussion. This increases all his stats and improves everything he does. Now artifacts. And here, priority matters. You start with the book, Magic Attack and Health. This is your foundation. This is what makes him stronger and keeps him alive. Then you move to the ring. More intelligence, more scaling. If resources are limited, you can stop here and he will already perform. Now evolution. 5 stars is enough. Because Soleil is not about raw stats. He is about mechanics. And finally, glyphs. If you can, level everything to 40. If not, focus on 3. Magic Attack, Health, Intelligence. These define his role. Everything else comes later. So what does an efficient Soleil look like? Max skills, max level, max sparks, magic attack skin, core artifacts, essential glyphs, at least 1 talisman, and that's it. You don't need more. With this, he performs. With this, he controls the fight. With this, he becomes fantastic. And this is the key, because building efficiently means growing faster. More heroes, more options, more control. Warriors. Soleil is not just a support. He is influence. He is control. He is amplification. And when you build him right, he becomes one of the cleanest, smartest additions you can bring into a fight. This is how we play the game. Not randomly, not blindly, with knowledge, with precision, with control. We don't build randomly. We build with intention. Master the mechanics. Control the fight. Let's break the game together.